7:30 in the morning and dairy farmers from Chesa village in Haryana are out to sell their milk. They stand in long queues at this cooperative waiting for their turn. Some kill time talking to each other. Others read a wall newspaper called Pratibadh. The paper is filled with information about everything from employment news to vaccinating buffaloes. Pasted on the milk cooperative's wall every fortnight, it has found a ready audience.
करीबन एक महीने के करीबन है जी लगे हुए इन पोस्टरों को आते हैं डेली पढ़ते हैं। इसमें एक तो खेती के बारे में बढ़िया बात दे रखी है जी, पशुओं के बारे में भी, बीमारी की भी जी, वैसे दूध बढ़ाने की भी जी, सब काम इसमें लिखे हुए हैं जी। ऐसे हमें करना पड़ा है जी, फिर इसके अनुसार जैसे इसमें लिखे हुए जी, इसमें बढ़िया बात आती है सब।
Officials at the milk cooperative also say Pratibadh helps their suppliers do better.
इस समय वर्तमान समय जो है ना एक सूचना का जो है युग है और इसमें तमाम तरह की इंफॉर्मेशन सोसाइटियों के माध्यम से भेजी जानी ज़रूरी महसूस हो रही थी। तो प्रतिबद्ध दीवार पत्रिका मिस्टर अनुपम श्रीवास्तव जी से संपर्क हुआ और उन्होंने इस स्कीम को ब्रीफ किया। बहुत से लोग इस संस्था में जुड़े हैं। सहकारी समिति में जो दूध देने वाले लोग आते हैं, वहाँ पर दूध देते समय जो सप्लाई करते हैं सोसाइटी में, वहाँ ये सूचनाएं दीवार पर लगी रहती हैं। तो उन लोगों को ज़्यादा जो है ना बेनिफिट हुआ और जब उनको ज़्यादा बेनिफिट हुआ तो नेचुरली जब ज़्यादा लोग जुड़ेंगे सोसाइटी में तो हम सब लोगों को भी उससे फ़ायदा होगा।
Pratibadh is the brainchild of Anupam Srivastava, a man trained in development communication. He now works out of this one-room office in Delhi, but started his journey in Bihar 15 years ago when he met the head of an initiative for dairy farmers.
We started then a small advertising company in Bihar. So we were looking for advertisement opportunities, commercial for television, and Patna Dairy Project is one of the success stories in Bihar. They had some money and they had a plan to. So we started getting their advertisement for. I think by 95 onwards, once I asked him, said, "Do you remember that we talked about Vol newspaper once?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Can we try to do this?" He said, "Why don't?" And then I kept on pursuing him. Probably on 2nd October, which is Gandhi's Jayanti, the first issue, 2nd October 1996, the first issue of Vol newspaper came in. So that's how the Vol newspaper started in 1996 in 1,000 villages. Once we understood that it's a working system, then we started replicating from one milk union to other, from one district to other, completed Bihar. Once we understood that it's working in Bihar, the gut feeling was that anything which works in Bihar will work anywhere because it's difficult state.
Sure enough, the Bihar experience allowed Pratibadh to take wings. Soon there was a Bengal edition. That was followed by one in Punjab, and Haryana and Maharashtra came next.
आपको जो ये दूध है वो कंप्यूटर सिस्टम से आपको सही रेट लग करके।
The secret to Pratibadh's success is its grassroots presence. Around 600 rural reporters walk the roads and fields of far-flung villages looking for stories. And while it's not a full-time profession, it requires training.
बेसिस पर जो डेयरियां चली हुई हैं वो गांवों में हमने खुलवा रखी हैं। मुझे इतना ज़रूर पता लगा कि एक समाचार पत्र के लिए किस प्रकार से इंटरव्यू लिए जाते हैं, किस प्रकार से कोई नई खबर खोज करके लाई जाती है और वो किस प्रकार से भेजी जाती है, और समाचार पत्र के लिए कौन कौन सा मटेरियल इकट्ठा करना पड़ता है, किस टाइप का करना पड़ता है जो लोगों से संबंधित हो, जनहित का हो।
Pratibadh's rural reporters perform a kind of activist journalism. This afternoon, Yatri asks locals in Chesa why some of them go to private milk buyers rather than cooperatives.
आज हमने कुछ घरों को जाकर के।
Once he's got a handle on his story, Yatri gets on the phone to Anupam Srivastava in Delhi. It's one sign of how technology has streamlined work at Pratibadh. Srivastava uses the information he receives to write up the stories. And pictures to go with the articles are just an email away. With the content in place, the pages are set on a computer, a far cry from how Pratibadh was produced just a few years ago.
Initially, we would take out the printout on a butter paper, then actually physically connect all that to make it a 2336 newspaper. Then we will go to a plate maker who would make a plate. Then we'll go. So it was a long process. Now with the internet, it's possible that we do everything here.
Technology also allows Srivastava to incorporate last-minute developments. That's one more factor that has radically changed Pratibadh's look and feel through its 14 years of existence.
When we started initially, we were not carrying employment news, but then we understood that employment is the biggest draw. For nothing else, one would come for employment news, so that's now what we are carrying. We use lots of cartoons. When we started earlier, we thought that cartooning is an urban phenomena. Only we have a vision to appreciate that cartoon. So that when I went to villages after some time and asked people कि आपने कभी पढ़ा है, तो हाँ साहब पढ़ा है, कुछ याद है, तो कहा साहब वो वाला कार्टून याद था. Then my this urban bias got the dressing down, and I understood that cartoon is the biggest draw and it has the biggest recall value.
With the cartoons incorporated, printed papers now go to Chesa and 41,000 other villages across the country in milk cooperative vans like this one. But for Srivastava, this is just the beginning. He says milk cooperatives provide an ideal platform for reaching out to rural India.
In the whole of the country, we have 6 lakh villages. Out of these 6 lakh villages, 1 lakh villages has a milk cooperative organization. Now, this is the only functional which works all 365 days in a year across the country. And all 1 lakh villages are connected through a van on everyday basis. So the bottom line is that if we convert all milk collection centers into some sort of a communication center, जो दूध संग्रह करने की जगह है, उसी को यदि सूचना पहुंचाने की जगह बना दी जाए, तो at least we can reach 1/6 of the villages the country has.
But while Srivastava wants to expand, some also believe the paper's content needs improvement.
हमें जानकारी मिलती रहनी चाहिए कि पशुओं के बारे में कोई बीमारी है या कोई गले गेटुए की बीमारी है या कोई भी बीमारी है, उसकी भी जानकारी हमें मिलती रहनी चाहिए.
बाहर से जैसे पशुओं की नस्ल के बारे में और दवाइयों के बारे में नए नए सुझाव आते रहेंगे तो सब यूज़ करते हैं जी.
हम ये ज़रूर चाहेंगे कि नवयुवकों के लिए रोज़गार की जो सूचना है इसमें थोड़ी सी और मुहैया कराई जाए. और क्लीन मिल्क प्रोडक्शन का आज समय है और इसमें इससे संबंधित या बीमारियों से संबंधित पशुओं के ये भी सूचनाएं इसमें वैसे तो आती रहती हैं, लेकिन इसको और अच्छी तरीके से जो है ना इसमें डाला जाए.
But minor complaints aside, dairy farmers from Chesa are lapping up this edition of Pratibadh, looking for information, tips and just plain entertainment.